Yes, sir, good people. It's your boy, D-Boy, Henry Heck, back at it again. Another Saturday, another episode of the GG or Die podcast, episode 7. Episode 7, boys and girls and boys, homies, homettes, fellas, and fellates. We are here now. Appreciate you for coming on through. We got a decent amount of topics right here. We got a decent amount, and we shall kick it on off with none other than Xbox, Microsoft's Xbox, and they dropped a little teaser, as it were, regarding the upcoming Xbox PC called the Helix. Oh yes, this was called the Project Helix. Of course, this name is more than likely going to change. It's going to be called the Xbox Series 100,000 Omega, proliferating to the umpteenth power, numbers, symbols, etc., etc. And then it's going to have another version called the Uncetra, and it's going to be like a lower powered, entry level, you can game at 4K for $100 type of box. You get what I'm saying? But very much so, it's seeming like a Steam box type situation. A console-like experience, but from the brothers and sisters over there at Microsoft. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not even opposed to this. I'm not mad at this idea. In fact, I think it actually makes sense. As much sense as the Steam machine for Valve, for Microsoft to have their own quote-unquote Steam machine. You know, we knew back in the day when the Steam machines first popped off onto the scene, there was multiple Steam machines from multiple companies. Alienware had one. You know, people had Steam machines. It just didn't take off overall. But it's seeming like it's happening again. It's happening again. And rest assured, Microsoft is not going to be the only one to jump into this. Because you have a standardized box, and I'm sure developers would prefer to develop for standardized boxes, seeing as how they don't have to, worry about, I mean, they still going to have to for the PC, but I can see where a developer would prioritize a box with, like they do a console. Like, unless you got a PC first developer, like I believe CDPR is. Like I believe, who else is a PC first developer? I think Bethesda is a PC first developer. And it's absolutely nothing wrong with being a PC first developer. Only issue is, and we try to launch on consoles day and date, and the performance just don't hit. And, on PC, you're able to tweak and tune and tweak. You're able to tweak and tune certain things in order to get a performance that's playable. Whereas we see how Cyberpunk did on consoles. Them Xbox had a freaking marketing deal for this joint, and the fucking console couldn't even run the bitch. How you have a special edition console representative of the product, and it can't run the fucking product. The controller's hard. The controller was hard. The Adidas was hard. Like, they went in when they was merchandising this shit for CDPR. They was going all Zive. Yeah, you get me? All Zive. And it was dope. But back to the project at hand, I'm interested, and they could pull this off. They could very well pull this off. You had some rumors and such that the Steam machine may possibly be pushed back to next year. And I believe, my personal belief, this Project Helix would debut next year. So we'll get to see a slugfest. And say what you want to about Xbox. Xbox does sell more hardware-wise than Steam. So it would be freaking dope to see that head-to-head slugfest, because Steam has a following. Gabe has a church. If you get what I'm saying, people love what Steam does. I think that what they do is pretty cool. I love the idea of the GameCube. And so we'll have two individuals who are PC with their own OS. You can call it, I guess, gaming focused OS, it would have to be, because otherwise, I think console gamers, like true, I won't even say true, like people who just console game, you're not gonna get them over there to no PC. You just not gonna get them over there. But if this offers that streamline, cut and dry, this is what it's for. Sure, you can watch YouTube on it. Sure, you can watch some anime on it. But you're not doing no programming over here. You're not doing it. You're not opening up Outlook and sending emails and working from home. Even though you can do that on the Steam box, and maybe you'll be able to do that on the Helix, Project Helix, whatever it ultimately ends up being named. Maybe you'll be able to do that too, but it's not going to be forward on it. It's not going to be the focus. Focus is playing fucking games, brothers. That's what the focus is. As long as you have your graphic options, performance options like the console, have your dashboard streamlined with your downloads, your games, like console, controller, hook up your Xbox Elite, whatever control. Hopefully they also, the big homie with 777JP and I were talking. Another controller, a new Xbox controller. A while ago they put out that survey about, asking the questions. Have an actual next gen controller. Maybe even have some trackpads on there. I don't know. Maybe even. Because that Steam controller, I'm keen on that. I'm really interested in checking that joint out. Keen on, I think it's cool. And it's got the symmetrical analogs, which is, you really don't see these days except for PlayStation. And all these other brands who make controllers is all Xbox style. It's like, I'm not gonna get into that. But you won't have to pay for online. Well, I don't know how they gonna do it. They might do a PlayStation-like approach. I don't know. Well, let's just say, for the sake of argument, you're not gonna have to pay for online. You don't gotta pay for online for both of them. You can play the same games. It's gonna be a price battle. It's gonna be a price battle. Cause Steam do got their cult following, but guess what? So the Xbox. And say what you want. Do they sell comparable to PlayStation or Nintendo? No, they don't. But they sell more than Steam Machine. They sell more than Steam Deck. They got tens of millions of those joints out there. And you don't even have to, tens of millions. They could pull this off. I don't immediately want to write them off, say they can't do it, say they can't do this, say they can't do that. But the new leadership they got over there seemingly cares about getting back to, represent hardcore in a real way. Seemingly having some meetings with certain individuals who were pivotal in the creation of Xbox. Seemingly. Because this could all be a fucking show. We don't know what the fuck going on. I'm interested if this will it have a disk drive, or you just rocking out digitally. I'm curious to see, because the main thing when you go to a new gen console is, will I be able to play my last gen console stuff? How backwards compatible is this gonna be? If I'm a physical Xbox gamer, can I still utilize my physical disc over here? Can I? Or are they going to be like, your digital joint's okay. Some digital joint's okay. And then you have to run the rest of them through the cloud. Like similar to how the Xbox ROG Ally situation. Folk gonna be upset. We're gonna see how they really handle this backward compat situation. Because that was a big deal with the Series X. Huge deal. Huge. It was a bit of marketing talk in there. It was some marketing talk up in there, for sure. Some things were misrepresented, for sure. As to how it achieved that backwards compatibility. You get me? But that aside, though, I think they might be cooking with petrol. Now, you see some folks out here, oh, it's an Xbox. I seen Tom Warren. Was it Tom Henderson? Or Tom Warren? One of them. One of the Toms having a back and forth with old Geoff. and Xbox guys hate Geoff now for pointing out the obvious. You know, in the marketing and talking up of the Xbox ROG Ally handheld, it's an Xbox, it's an Xbox, it's an Xbox. Everybody was shouting from the rooftops, it's an Xbox. All these pundits, all these games media individuals, it's an Xbox. They come find out, this joint drop, it's a PC. It's a P-God-doing-C. And folk get up in arms when they say it's an Xbox. You see this now. Folks get up in arms when you tell them, nah, this is a PC, brother. It's a PC, brother. They want so desperate. And fuck. It could come out and be an Xbox console. You could play select Steam games, like console versions of Steam. I don't fucking know. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a rocket scientist. I don't know the ins and outs of how they go about, you know, labeling it this, producing it for that. I don't know. But in my limited knowledge, I'm assuming this is going to be, because why wouldn't it be a PC? Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it just be a PC with a Xbox console like operating system, OS, which still is fuck still. It still ain't hit how it need to hit. So, sure, Xbox can sell hardware. They've done it for a long time. Can they sell an operating system? You know, because people constantly complain and got issues with how Microsoft handled the operating system. I don't know if en masse a person who is open to that kind of device is going to bypass over a Steam OS where shit works. Shit works over there. How it's supposed to. They've close to perfecting that. It do what it need to do when it need to do it. You ain't got to worry about a lot of stuff over there. So if I got an option of an OS that's shown improved, and then the other option is an OS that's finicky, inconsistent, and I'm about to spend $900 to $1,000, well, $600 to $1,000, because we don't know. I'm choosing the joint that's showing improving. I'm choosing Gabe. I'm choosing Gabriel. That's where I'm going. But it remains to be seen. Hopefully we get some more information soon. We get a proper rundown as to what this thing is supposed to be, what it's supposed to do, who it's supposed to be for. That's the question people like to ask these days. Who's it for? We can get an answer for that. You know, of course, they won't explicitly say, but, you know, based on the performance, based on the price point, we'll be able to ascertain as to the targeted demographic for this piece of hardware right here. And I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I want them to keep making more hardware. That's what I want. Because initially, they was talking about this boutique-like. I'm like, bro, this shit about to be an Asus gaming tablet for $2,000. That's what it's about to be. You can take it in because whole plate anywhere. You can take it anywhere. Hook up your Xbox controller and call it. Even some people figured or speculated it to being like a gaming laptop. And it could very well still be one of those things. And I mean, some individuals will buy it. I mean, we don't know how many people bought this ROG LIX Xbox situation. You know, people were showing and saying that it sold like crazy, it sold out, but something like that, super niche like that, especially with the knowing the records of these handheld PCs don't sell a ton. Even they just don't sell a whole lot. So it makes sense that they just wouldn't make that many. And not to fall on that argument of, well, how many did they make? But with the history of these things, they not out here producing 15 million of these joints. Hell no, they wouldn't do that. In my opinion, they could have. But in my opinion, I don't think they would have. Don't think they would have at all. But, you know, as far as this whole thing, because we don't know nothing. It's a lot of speculation. All we have now is official word that something is coming. Something is, you know, being conceptualized and R&D'd and gonna be produced for the good people who like and love Xbox. And I hope it work out for them. I really do. To be honest with you. Even if not direct competition for the PlayStation and Nintendo, competition for some Steam over there. Competition is good, they say. That's what they say. Having options is good, they say. So I wish them the best. I wish them the best. And moving on over to Xbox's current competition, PlayStation. Shout out to PlayStation Nation, the Herrmeister, all the individuals over there. Shout out to them. Some news had come forth, whereas PlayStation potentially walking back the PC ports. We got Nate the Hate, one of the first individuals who put out this wording. I'm gonna read it on out. You'll be seeing fewer single-player games arrive on PC. The decision to shift away from supporting PC was made last year. Naturally, some may still release, pending how far along the ports were, but it will no longer appears to be a priority for Sony moving forward. Now, PlayStation Nation cheering for this. A lot of people cheering for this, actually. For the idea of true exclusives coming back, which, you know, I support. If you PlayStation games should just be played on PlayStation. It is what it is. You want to play them, hop on that station. And it sparked a whole lot of conversation, you know, that this whole exclusives are bad. They pop up once a year pretty much, except for Nintendo. Nintendo is immune to this because they're an anomaly. They're just off doing their own thing, you know. People, and I find that's interesting to me. It's real interesting to me because why? Like if you're really individual who thinks exclusives are bad, you that kind of individual, they are bad, and your goal is to see that every game is everywhere for everybody. If that's real, you know, if that's authentic, if that's an idea you truly believe in, then in my opinion, Nintendo wouldn't be fine just off doing their own thing and being an anomaly and all this type of thing. They wouldn't be. I don't believe they really believe that. Because it wouldn't be rules for thee and not for he. It wouldn't be rules for they and not for them. You get me? It would affect everybody. Like, yes, yeah. Every time you push one, they're like, yeah, Nintendo games should be everywhere. That's what they would say, but they never say that. They never do. And some of them even come off as offended when you hit them with the, why you ain't got this energy for Nintendo? It's like, if you bring up Nintendo, it's like you changing the subject. We not talking about exclusives being everywhere and exclusives are stupid and all this type of stuff. We not talking about that. I can't believe you brought that up. We talking about PlayStation games. PlayStation games should be everywhere. Why? Why should PlayStation games be everywhere but Nintendo games not be everywhere? And then it's you're a corporate shield. If you recognize the reality of why exclusives exist and give an explanation, you are a shield. Because you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be. And I'm like, bro, and don't fuck around and bring up other shit that also have their version of exclusives, their own version of a product that you can't get nowhere else. Because then you moving the goalpost. Or shifting the goalpost, whatever the phraseology is you like to use when referring to that. But it's wild to me the hoops folks jump through to defend, to say exclusives are bad, but then turn right around in that same breath and defend exclusives. You know, because that's what they doing. Exclusives bad over here, but they're protected over here. This specific entity is allowed to do it for no real reason. No real reason, because they never give one other than it's Nintendo. It's Nintendo. That's Nintendo. That's the individual's excuse in protecting Nintendo from anything. It's just this. Talk about some performance stuff, but it's portable. Talk about it have exclusive, but it's Nintendo. But that's the go-to Nintendo shielding. And it's funny because I already, whenever this because it pop up, like I said, like once a year. And, you know, this time it actually made sense to pop up because it's a discussion around exclusives. And, you know, people speculate as to why they're taking a step back. I believe it's a money thing. They not seeing the return they like to see over there. You got some PlayStation fans thinking or presenting it as PlayStation is listening and they finally heard us and we don't want our. No, I don't believe they not making that money. Because if you was over here complaining and they was selling 5 million, 6 million, 7, 8 million over here, they'll still be dropping them fucking games over there. No matter if you complaining or not. They not doing it because they not seeing the return. It's about the dollars. And you see folks, you even see the PC fan telling on themselves out here. You even see that. You see a lot of prominent PC individuals out here. Well, I don't want to blame PC. Why not? That's who you need to blame. That's who you need to blame. Anytime a business step back or shut something down, or the reason that is, most of the time is because they not seeing a return on that investment. That's why. And then over here, when it comes to this, people ain't buying them fucking games. Or people ain't buying them games at the rate at which PlayStation would see them buying them games. And they've given them, all right, they complained about, you know, the PS Plus account they took it. You ain't got to do that no more. It's like every step of the way, then PlayStation tried to, you know, meet them halfway. They were met with some contention. And hey, that's cool. Let your voice be heard. And it was working. It was working. Because every time they hooting and hollering about something, PlayStation walked it back. Still gave it to them. Walked it back. Gave them what they want. But it seems as though in them doing that and them still not getting the money, they probably like, you know what, this ain't worth the headache. It ain't even worth it to deal with these individuals when it comes to this, because we giving them, we meeting them halfway and they still not buying the stuff. So that it must mean common sense. That must mean they don't want it. You know, you got some people out here, well, it's got to be day and date. If it was day and date, it would. And I seen an argument when someone comparing and this ain't the hate on no PC game, you know what I'm saying? You play, do what the fuck you want to do. I'm not in your house. But an individual brought up how, you know, the Xbox games come to PlayStation ain't day and date, and they still rushing out to buy them. You know, PlayStation gamers support games. It's not all they don't have, as long as it meet a certain standard of performance for where we at now, more than likely it's gonna sell on PlayStation. You know what I mean? As long as it's a competent game, it's gonna sell on PlayStation. You know, it's not a whole bunch of excuses as to, you know, well, if it was this, we would have. The numbers come in and shit be selling. But like they got a whole list of things you have to do in order for them to get to buy the game, and you can even meet that whole shit, and then they waiting for a sale, and then some of them, a percentage of them, stealing them shit, stole that shit. You know, I'm not gonna say a ton of people, but realistically, people be over there stealing like a motherfucker. They be stealing like a motherfucker over there. You know, I'm pretty sure if you're inside the online gaming community and participating, you know a motherfucker be stealing. You know, and I just think it's a whole sea of reasons as to why they potentially are walking this back. Because again, this ain't. And I don't even think they gonna say nothing. I don't believe they even gonna say nothing. You just not gonna see games over there no more, except for your live service. And then to them, they might not even be looking at it so much as a walking back, because you still will be getting the multiplayer games. Well, most of them. You're not getting GT7 over there, but you getting your shooters over there. Is MLB The Show over there? I'm not sure if MLB The Show over there or not. But you're getting your this current run of live service games over the marathon over there. Let me think. They're gonna be over there. You know, those type of games. They've said that. And I'm gonna be honest, some people don't even think the multiplayer game should be over there, but I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't trust PlayStation alone no. If it's not GT7, because people will bring up, well, GT7 is the PlayStation franchise. It's synonymous with PlayStation. That's their number one joint right there. That's their joint. From a sheer numbers perspective, from a sheer player perspective. How many people logging in that joint monthly? And you're not gonna have a new multiplayer only on PlayStation to do anywhere near close to that. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So an individual made the argument of, you know, how successful Helldivers was on PC, which it was, and tried to frame it as if it was only available on PlayStation, it would have went absolutely crazy. Which I'm not sure you can even make that argument, because we don't know. Just because something is exclusive don't mean people gonna rush over there to, you know what I mean? We just don't know. We just don't know. It's an assumption, and then you have it coming off the back of one of the biggest, hugest, most prominent PlayStation franchises of all time, GT, Gran Turismo. Helldivers is on his second game. You know what I'm saying? People play it, but do they play it at the level of a GT? Hell no. Hell no. Like, GT7 is I think when people, it seems like, cause it's like you when you know something big, but then you don't realize something big till you don't realize how big something is until you actually like go into it and, you know, measure it up against some other shit. Like, Gran Turismo is massive franchise. Massive franchise. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be too many games that do that. Especially not per month. On a console. Only. You can only play this joint on the PlayStation 5. And for it to be going this... No, you can't. No, I'm tripping. You can only play it on PlayStation. It is on PS4. I'm tripping. And shout out to them, because they building the next. You know what I'm saying? They working on the next one. You know that gonna go crazy. Let that PS6. Let that PS6 launch with a GT7, with a intergalactic, or with whatever Corey Balrog is working on. Let it launch with them two, some, you know, second party joints. If it come out with 5 games that you can only play on that, you in there like booty hell. PlayStation in there like booty hell. They in there. That's gonna be a launch lineup. That's gonna be. You get me? And even if some of them are cross gen, if an individual see, all right, it's 2 games that I can only play on the 6, 2 that are cross gen, they gonna get that 6. They gonna get that 6. Because there's 2 more games. It's 2 more games they're gonna have access to. 2 more new experiences with the new features, because it's gonna have to have some new features. And I'm still racking my brain trying to figure out what the fuck them new features gonna be on the PS6. What would they be? What would they use to sell you on getting one? Why do I need this over a Pro? Why wouldn't I just stick with my Pro for the next until y'all straight up come out and say y'all not doing cross gen no more, and you getting legitimate PS6 titles, why wouldn't I just stay here? You know what I mean? What the features gonna be? Gotta be some no, and I'm getting away from, the point. But and then they released that PC ready DualSense, and people got to speculating of, it was a knee-jerk reaction to pull games for PC. Like, bro, you can use a DualSense on PC right now. You can use that, or you can buy one that's quote unquote PC ready, where you ain't got to do the extra stuff. Because Marathon came out, that's a PlayStation game. PlayStation game, and it's on PC. Some people on PC like the PlayStation controller, and they want to keep using it. On PC, that's one of the perks over there. You can use pretty much whatever controller you want to. Pretty much whichever one you want to. So is it a stretch to believe that, what I wonder? How many DualSenses, or can they track that? I'm pretty sure they could possibly track that. How many DualSenses are being used on PC? Because it could be a situation of that's where they getting their money. DualSenses and DualSense Edges, they up there as far as top selling accessories. They up there consistently. People might say, oh yeah, because it's thick drill, so you gotta keep mine. Whatever the reason, they up there. DualSense Ed been number one a couple of times. So I don't think them doing this is a situation where it was knee jerk or miscommunication and some things that some people tried to say that, bruh, if they pulling the games, they pulling the games, and we ain't got to psychoanalyze why they could pull in the games. The simplest explanation is probably the correct one, and they ain't seeing the money they thought they'd be seeing, so they not gonna keep doing it. Not gonna keep doing it. And people say, oh, free money. Man, ain't no such thing as fucking free money. Ain't nothing in life free, but you think it's the such thing as free money. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And they want to devolve porting into something that's just hit a button and it's in there. Nah, bro, it ain't just doing that. Because if that were the case, ports wouldn't be going to other platforms bad. If that were the case, Iron Galaxy wouldn't have caught the heat they caught if it were that simple to just hit a button. Boop, it's ported. No, it takes a level of skill. It takes a level of expertise. It takes resources. Then you got to pay these people. These people ain't out here for free. They not out here for free. And even if you want to say, oh, they broke it. Ain't no business aiming to break even. At that point, you just doing shit for fun. You just doing shit for fun if you out here breaking even and being cool with it. These companies want growth. They want more money year over year. More money. If they ain't getting more money, they finna shift. They finna pivot and do something else. So yes, Legendary Drop don't want to blame. You got who else you gonna blame? You trying to blame PlayStation? You can't blame PlayStation because they put the games over there. You didn't want PS to sign up. They took that away. Then you got people, bringing up the whole region situation, advocating and capable. Like you don't live there. That's not why you ain't buying the games. That's not why PlayStation games ain't selling. In my opinion, I think PC guys like a specific type of game. And if you don't make that specific type of game, you dead in the water. You know what I mean? If you want to sell on PC, you got to make PC games, in my opinion. Largely. You know what I'm saying? You do have things here and there that hit, like RE9 hit. But what we're seeing popping off right now, Slay the Spire 2. That seemed to me like a PC joint. You know what I'm saying? A PC, and not disrespect PC, not disrespect Slay the Spire 2. You know what I'm saying? Them doing the numbers they did, they're doing right now in early access. Them some good ass numbers. That's Studio One. But you can't then like that you put Slay the Spire 2 on PlayStation. You're not seeing them type of numbers. You get me? You're not seeing them. That's a very PC-centric title right there. And each platform has the thing that they're known for. Each platform has the thing that the gamers on that platform lean to. A lot of the stuff Nintendo make, put that on PlayStation, not gonna work. Some stuff that PlayStation make, put that on Nintendo, not gonna work. Some stuff Nintendo make, put that on Xbox, not gonna work. Each one is good for what they're good for. And, if you're an indie type of joint, you got like quirky, cool, interesting mechanics, you probably gonna pop off over there on the PC, over there on the Steam, over there with Gabe and the boys. You get me? And that's just the long and the short of it. That's how it goes sometimes. Like, bro, they've been putting games over there for like 5-6 years. Some people want to say it's out of. No, it's not out of nowhere. Nah, it's not out of nowhere. Because y'all kept saying, oh, I'll just wait. Then to get it, oh, well, it should have been day and date. You just said you would wait. You just said this whole time, you said you was cool with waiting. Then, after the fact, your reasoning for why you didn't support it is because you had to wait. Seemed to me like that, I'll just wait with just cope. That's how it coming off as. That was just cope. You see what I'm saying? And I do know some people on PC that buy play. I got one of the homies. Soon as the joint drop on the PC, he on there. And there's also some people out here who double dip and say, you know what I'm saying, I won't be double dipping, which is a benefit for them because they ain't spending twice the money. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a win in a way. Because, those guys who are having to spend double don't have to spend double. Oh, I don't say have to. Those guys who were spending double, won't be spending double. If, in fact, this is all true. We don't know if this is true or not. This is just, it's been put out on good authority. That's what they say. On good authority that, this is the move going forward. Schreier had produced a piece on it. They talked about it on the podcast. People over there weren't happy, but whatever, man, bro. Y'all got PS5 Pros, bro. What is to be unhappy about? Especially when you got the platform that it's gonna be on. That's nothing I don't understand. Fake being mad about a game not going to a platform when you own the platform that it's currently still gonna be on. You get me? I get. You know what? Now, you a fan of widescreen support, and now you won't be able to. Okay, whatever. But that's enough PC stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're getting off of that. That's just my thoughts on it. I seen that the internet went crazy for a day, and it was what it was. Now over here we got, one of my favorite topics as of right now. Marathon, of course, is out for the girls and the boys. I've been having a grand old time playing with the homies, playing with the big homie wheelchair, say with JP, Baldante, Warwana, Iron Man, getting it in, trying to get ranked up. I think I'm like level 12 right now. I stayed up to like 1 last night, something I rarely do. But I was doing it. I was game, like the good old days. But something that popped across the timeline was, a situation where Bungie was asking for people to kind of delay their review of the game until the endgame portion was released, so people would be able to play that and then include that in their review. A request, people could abide by it, they could not, whatever they wanted to do. I've seen some people trying to frame this in a kind of weird way of like the game isn't complete because I've seen the individual say, oh, well, they should have just delayed the game then. That still wouldn't have changed the fact that you as a player, you as a character with your gear wouldn't be equipped to participate in the end game. You wouldn't have been able to. You can't go in there with a free kit. You can't go, you know what I mean? Because you got to have X amount of value. You got to have X amount of loadout value in order to even go participate in it. You're not going to have that day one. You're not going to have that first couple days probably. You get what I mean? So it's not a case of the game, quote unquote, wasn't ready or they just pushed it out. It's just a case of, you know, and you could also make a case for, in these specific types of cases right here, for reviews in progress. I think you could also make a case for that with these type of games with this type of end game, you know, because it's nothing they could, well, I guess they could have just gave you, they could have just hooked the reviewers up with a ready loadout, but, you know, they wouldn't, at that point, they wouldn't have the experience, you know, because this is one, you gotta participate. You gotta physically actually get better. Ain't no difficulty sliders over here. Ain't no developer mode. I mean, ain't no reviewer mode over here. You got to be good enough to participate. And that was real interesting to me to see people's response. That let me kind of know that people don't know what endgame is. Some people are speaking out of turn as to what, like, because you can't just hop off into a raid and participate into a raid with day one gear. It won't work. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have specialty. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have specialty stuff. You gotta have bills prepared. You know, if you want to go in that thing being successful. Otherwise, you're gonna just get smacked to sleep. And what happened if you get smacked to sleep repeatedly, over and over and over, time and time again? This shit sucks. This shit is ass. They gotta, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't be successful, then the developer they gotta optimize it. Or they built it wrong. You know, when it's not it's not a matter of it was built wrong, it's just a matter of you're not kitted to deal with these mechanics over here yet. You know? Some of these, you know, for example, some of these Elden Ring bosses, you could have just ran to and fought them. You was gonna get beat to fucking sleep. You going out there as soon as you spawn in. And of course, some people can do it now. After they've got the experience, they can do it now. Do no-hit runs, all these other cool things they be doing, playing the game with bananas and stuff. But that's active practice. Motherfucker ain't just hook the banana up as a control and run through and beat the boss first try, second try, 10th try. That motherfucker will do that shit, fight that same boss 50 times. You know what I'm saying? Cause they get the experience. So I push all the way back on this idea of, well, they should have delayed the game then. And this framing of it, the game ain't ready. It's the gamer that ain't ready. You got to work your way up. It's called end game. It's not today game. It's not day one game. Not right now game. It's not as soon as you install this bitch and after the tutorial you can play it at this moment game. Some people, oh, well, it's bad. Hey, you know what, bro? You got it. One thing I'm noticing now, a lot of these arguments ain't even worth participating in. Some folk, you just not gonna be able to win with them, not because they don't understand. You know what I mean? Like I said, I bring up Destiny and the raids and stuff. You gotta prepare for that. That's something you gotta prepare for, and that's one of the things that Bungie do well. In game or Bungie games generally go over quite well. And again, they're not saying that you gotta wait. It's mandatory. They're just asking. And that's another thing too that people trying to reframe. Like, oh well, bruh, if you don't want to wait, don't wait. If you want to put your review out today, put your review out today. You know what I'm saying? It's a request. You can say, nah, I'm putting this joint out right now. You could even say, I'm not interested, but they won't say this, obviously. I'm not really interested in participating in endgame. I just want to, you know what I'm saying? And that'd be cool. But I don't know, man. I'm seeing some of that stuff. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Them pushing it back 30 days ain't gonna automatically make you better at a game that you ain't playing. You know what I mean? How you gonna get better at something and get prepared for something that you ain't currently playing? You gonna have to wait another 30 days or however long, 2 weeks, however long it take you to grind up, get gear leveled up. It's not gonna be day one, depending on the value. I think they put it out. I don't remember right now, but depending on how, like, it might take you a couple weeks, because you're not just gonna be successful every time and getting out with that money, getting out with that loot, getting out with that candy. You might get smacked 3, 4, 5 times in a row. Shout out to the big homie, man. We lost a couple in a row. As soon as we hopped on that joint, I think we lost like 3, 4 in a row. Then we got into the mode, got into the swing, and it was a better time. A better time. We was getting caught, and we'll have them too. We'll have them, bro. It'll be down to the last cat on the team, and then some kind of way they'll pull it. They'll catch us in a reload, catch us in a healing, and pull it out. But once we got into the swing, we was getting in, getting out, scrapping with the bots. Shout out to Ninja. You know, shout out to all the people who are recognizing that this PvE over here ain't for the, you know what I'm saying? They ain't playing. They really out here to get you out the door. And I mess with it, bro. Like your boy then said, man, the guy doing bots better than the players, boy. And they move like players to a degree. They shifty. They ducking and diving and tucking ass and peeking, and snipers sniping. They not bull jiving with you. These PvE, these UESCs over here, they not playing with you. And they, like, the bots were third party. Mess around, get into a scrap, and you where they redeploy at, let them come off in there on the tail end of that scrap. Think you finna get some loot. Think you finna loot some boxes. They getting you up out of there. Same like your boy won his one. Went over that thing, he about to loot a box. That joint came through. Which, like, you can hear him. Audio is excellent in the joint. You can hear him coming in there. Clanking. So your boy wasn't paying attention. Got caught slipping. He had said it had been like 7 hours, so he probably was tired. Not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of trying to pay attention to the chat and be entertaining and all this kind of stuff. You know, I think right now these days, I think that's kind of him, quote unquote, raging is built into his entertainment value at this point. You know, he's not the ninja of 5, 6 years ago. And that's cool, because he made a ton of he's extremely successful still. Keeping all the way trill with you. But it's not, you know, Fortnite ninja. It's you feel me? It's variety streamer ninja. But that's shout out to that brother. If you fuck with him, you fuck with him. I ain't got no problem with him, to be honest with you. But yeah, this shit is real, bro. It's real. And I've not even, I think Asmongold put out a clip. Well, not he put out a clip. Some people put out a clip of where he rated the game. I don't really put people like that who this opinion of the game ain't valuable to me at all, because you don't play these type of games, and even the quote unquote good games you don't really play those. It's just and his review wasn't terrible. Like I always say, most games are just okay, and that's what he rated it. Gave it like a 6 out of 10. But then you go to look at how it was scored on Steam. Crazy good. How it scored on PlayStation. Crazy good. How it scored on Xbox. Crazy good. So the people who are playing it and reviewing it are enjoying it. It's not a situation of where the reviews and opinions of the game are low and they're having to, well, like a lot of games do, they start low and then they work their way up to, very positive. However the scale is on Steam, it's like, I don't know, to positive. I'll just say to positive. It's not having to do that. It's people enjoying it. People are thinking highly of it, thinking it's a good time. And that's dope. That's really dope. It's not at on PlayStation, it's not at a 3.5. It's 4 something. It's not a 5, but it's damn near close to there. I'll make sure I put it in here. But that's what you like to see. You see these conversations of 80K is not good, it's bad, it's flopping, and over these, over the past year, this obsession and immediately run, even people that don't even play on PC. This how bad you got PlayStation gamers running to Steam charts. Think about this. You got PlayStation Nation running the Steam charts. What we doing, bro? What we doing? It's crazy to me that this is what we got. This is what we got too. People, even for the Server Slam, you had people staying up into the dead of night. Or the dead of night. Whichever, probably the dead of night, I'm sure. That might be it. And catching a screenshot of the drop off. And it's like, my nigga, the Server Slam is over now. You see what I'm saying? It's over now. You got people, it dropped down to like 30 something thousand. They like, oh. But then folk get off work and jump right back up to like 83, 85. I think people fail to realize how much of a unicorn Arc Raiders is. Games regularly don't do that. It's a specific group of games that do that. Arc Raiders has joined that. It's like saying because Black Myth Wukong and Hogwarts Legacy sold 20 million. If your game don't sell 20 million, your game flop. Selling 5 million is still fucking solid. Selling 8 million is still fucking solid. Even 3-4 million is still solid. You know what I mean? Just because you're not doing that, don't mean it's a flop. You get what I'm saying? Then again, this is not a free-to-play game. And obviously, neither was Arc. But this is not a free-to-play game. The 80-something thousand that hopped on that joint, or 80-something thousand that participated and paid for it. How many people on PlayStation paid for it? How many people on Xbox paid for it? I seen something cool. I seen an individual playing this joint on the AYN Thor, bro. That was crazy to me. They had all the browser stuff on the bottom screen, but the game itself was on the top screen. That was fucking crazy. I'm like, bro, what? This is the fucking future. This is the future. And I'm not sure how it performed, and lag was probably, you know what I mean? But that was cool to see. Shout out to Marathon, shout out to Bungie. It's doing quite well. I'm happy with it. I figured it would land somewhere after the dust settles around 60, 70K. That's where I figured it would land at. But 85, I'm with it. Then plus endgame. And then it probably, I said 80 now, so it probably will drop to and settle at maybe 60. And then the endgame drop, it jump back up to 80, back at least back where it was. And I think that's a cool ebb and flow. I don't think we have, like, it's some guys got a bet going on about it hitting a certain number. I don't think for the foreseeable future, it's gonna hit that. It's been expanded out for the next. The bet has been expanded to the next 30 days, but that 30 days end game dropping. So I think an individual fit had to pass out some PSN cards. You get what I'm saying? Because when you got an update like that dropping, folks 1,000% are coming back. They are coming back. They not missing out on no raid or no situation like, especially not from no bunch of games. They gonna pop in. They are going to pop in. You'll probably have even some individuals who, because one of the big contentions between Arc Raiders and Marathon is the end game. A lot of people seen that end game roadmap, and they're like, hold on, this look like it's gonna be the shit. So you probably gonna have some guys who ain't migrated from Arc yet come over here to Marathon and check it out just to see. So it might even go beyond that 80, 84, 85 peak, whatever it was. It might even be go beyond that just for the sake of people being interested in seeing how that play out. And I think it's gonna be fire. I think it's going to be fire. That's why I gotta get back in there. I gotta get back in there and get my shit together. Cause I want to participate, goddamn it. Oh yeah, I do. I want to participate, brothers. But that's all I got right now when it comes to the marathon. Let's move on over to the next bit of talking. All right, something else kind of out the way, but not really. Still video games. Division Resurgence, brothers. Drop at the end of the month. Now, I know a lot of people don't play mobile games. I do. You know what I mean? I enjoy Destiny Rising. I'm dipping and dabbling in Siege Mobile. Rainbow Six Siege Mobile dropped a little while ago. I've been up in there participating. It's a cool little streamlined little vibe. You can knock a match out in like 5 minutes. In under 5 minutes. And I think that's a big draw to mobile gaming to me, especially with these shooters. You know, with COD Mobile, bro, you get in out of match 5 minutes. And, you know, when you in between jobs, you at the doctor, you waiting on something, you getting your oil changed. You know, whenever it's a situation where you got a little time, but maybe not a lot, you could be, you know, pulled away at any moment. You go ahead and finish that game up real quick and then you head on about your day. That's what I really like about mobile gaming. And when it comes to games like this, I also like to see the ways they streamline it and make it different without taking too much away to the point to where it's a different game. Now, Resurgence, I tested this game, man, it's probably been 2 years ago at this point. It's gotta be 2 years when I first tested this game and checked it out, and it's the fucking Division. It's the Division. You know, I think in this game you play as one of the first wave agents. You know, only thing I like, man, because you got to bring your other Division agent over. You don't get to do that in the mobile title, but it's cool. You just remake your character and call it a day. I'm also interested in seeing how in the aggressiveness of the microtransactions, you know, because it's a free-to-play game. Microtransactions are going to be there. You know, I'm kind of like how they going to, I'm not going to participate, of course, but when you hop on them subreddits, they let you know. Because right now, it's some people, not everybody, not even most, not a large percentage, but some people over there, even with Marathon, bro, people talking about the microtransactions. I'm like, bro, man, I'm here for the gunplay, the movement. I'm not here to play dress up. But some people are. They care about that kind of stuff. They care about that kind, even though you don't gotta participate in it. That's what get me. You don't gotta participate in it. You can unlock free skins just by playing for the gun, stickers, all that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like that over here. But people take their microtransactions seriously. You know, and when it comes to this, I'm also interested in seeing on how this story gonna play out as a first waiver. Because the whole concept of you being this sleeper agent, but for your country, you your own sleeper agent to react to certain things, that's fucking fire. That is fire. You know what I mean? Like, you just living your life. You got a family. They don't know. Your mama don't know. Your wife don't know. Your pastor don't know. But then you hit that joint, that watch go off. You got to go to work like on some firefighter shit. You got to go to work. I think that is dope. Gunplay be crisp. Even though some people do make the, you know, how spongy the enemies can be, but they really meshed the RPG third person shooter. They did that shit, bro. Because if you got the right build, you got the right equipment, and your character is tuned in such a way, you crushing. The TTK is just as quick as if you didn't have all that extra stuff, and you feel more accomplished because you went through the items, you went through the skills, you went through the process of being able to do it. So it's more rewarding because you like worked for it. Not to say the other people don't work for it, because you do memorize the combat and get your parry down and all type of stuff. All that's cool, but it's different. The build crafting. That's where the Division really excel. And it's satisfying. Super satisfying. You running through the city. Good look, especially for its time. Good looking game. Good looking. They done updated Division 160 F50. So the homies and I went back and participated. That's a little, a little difficult over there. So we went on ahead and transitioned to Dia 2, having a grand old time just running through the missions. Awesome experience. And this right here, I'm gonna be on here. The one thing about when I'm playing mobile, I don't generally play. I don't have a group of individuals I play with. I just hop in with randoms, do what I got to do, hop out, hop in, do what I got to do, roster, rinse, and repeat. I don't really have a crew. Just because when I hop into them on mobile game, it's so sporadic. So whereas on console, I make like the just playing crew, we'll make plans. Hey, we're gonna be on this time. We're gonna get active. Oh, you gonna be on tonight? What time? And we set it up. I don't really do that when it comes to mobile games, bro, because I feel like, number one, I'm also sporadically, but number two, the player is so huge and so many things. You got the time. You got people over in India. Mobile game is huge over there, all over the place. More oftentimes than not, you're not gonna be like around nobody that are playing with somebody that's just right there with you. And then plus, it's also that's also supplementary. So supplementary that I don't plan around playing a mobile game. I just get it in when I get it in when I fit it in. I think I want to go do a couple things before I fall asleep. It's very spontaneous, and I like it being there and available, and I can jump in whenever I feel like it. It's not a huge commitment. Of course, you want to go in, grind it up, get the story, and get your gear together. And of course, you want to do all that, but it's not a rush. You don't feel committed to it. You can just do it whenever you feel like it. I like that. That's one of the pulls and draws to mobile gaming for me, because it's freedom. That's some freedom right there. And then plus, I like how, especially with Ubisoft does this amazingly. A lot of people were cheering for. It's one of the Square RPGs that's coming out, of how, like, if you played another Square game and it recognized it's the save file there, you'll get something in this game just because you play. Ubisoft been doing that. I played, what was it, Assassin's Creed Origins or something? It was one of those. And because I played For Honor, I got a Warden armor set. So I could run around that bitch in like a knight's armor for the king and shit. I could have, in Division 2, because I played Rainbow Six Siege. I had a thermite outfit because I played the Division in Breakpoint. It was a SMG. That's dope. That is dope. And because I'm playing Rainbow Six Mobile, it's right, and Siege, they got crossover stuff over there. Like that Ubisoft games is its own little ecosystem situation, and you get certain rewards for participating over there, and they do it to like the next level when it comes to Assassin's Creed game. You play Assassin's Creed game, you getting a bunch of shit. You getting a bunch of stuff, and I like how they do that. And it make you want to play more Ubisoft games. And to be honest with you, bro, this year, kick of the year, I beat Shadows. Then I've only played and beat Ubisoft games. At the end of the day, though, I'm with it, man. I've been looking forward to this for a while, and I'm glad. More Division, more better. That's how I look at it. And the Division as a franchise has been having a resurgence. You know what I mean? Division 2 back up there. I think they hit 16, 17K. They had a stream. They announced a new DLC. They got realism mode. I'm about to check that out, where it's not all the sponginess. A headshot is a headshot. You know, limited HUD. And what I think they're doing, they're testing the waters. I think Division 3 is going to launch with that mode. And another thing that people don't really give Ubisoft credit for is the way they launch their games with different modes in which you can play them. Like Shadows had the cannon mode. You know, Breakpoint got the no gear score mode. So I think it would be cool, and I don't think it's like elite to assume that Division will have this real. They might rename it, name it something else, but realism mode at launch. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I like the RPG stuff, and the builds, and but for a change of pacing to try to like experience it as a different game from the gate, I might pop that bitch off with the realism mode. Now, of course, you got to make a different character. The way it stands now, and it's also limited in Division 2, is you got to make a different character. Now, maybe they make it where it unlocks after you beat the game the first time, which I understand, and I wouldn't be mad at it because, you know what I'm saying, I'll jump right back in there. Or, you know, then you could turn it on and then approach the game that way, and you only, if you hop online, you're only playing with people who are playing in that mode. You know, I think it's cool. It make it a little more, I don't want to say it make it a little more arcadey, but it's a level of relief when you don't have to, you know what I'm saying, worry about all the extra stuff. You know, I could play that joint like Breakpoint, no gear score, and I'm on Breakpoint. Really, that shit is heat. That shit is heat. And I was like, bro, I think Breakpoint might be my new favorite Div series. I mean, my new favorite Ubisoft. But nah, I went back to Division. I'm like, yeah, this home. This home, baby. This home, like the tech, I don't know. The special agent portion of it, and you in the city, you in an urban environment. I think that's clean. And just the whole lore and air around it, bro. That's why, like, bro, this Resurgence is March 31st. I'm obviously already ready because I am ready. I am ready. And I'm going to be playing it like, you know what I'm saying? Hop in, hop out, get this lore, get that lore, and participating in the discussion and all that type of stuff. I'm not going to no life it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not at that point in life where I'm just no life it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a lot of stuff going on, and you know what I'm saying? I want to play. I'm playing a lot of marathon. I'm heavy on that. I'm you know, making sure I get my workout in when I need to get my workouts in, get my diet proper, keep that joint proper, get on my discipline. I'm making it a point to have sections in my life for all the things I need to be doing and all the things I want to be doing. You know, because as much as I love and enjoy marathon, when I'm tired, I'm going to sleep. You know, and I did stay up on the first Friday of launch and participated with the big homie, and we played a bunch but it's not gonna be like a regular thing. I am gonna play it every day for sure, but as far as staying up to one, hell no, I'm not doing that. Hell no, I got to work at home. You know, I got stuff I got to do. When I get home off from work, I'm not immediately jumping on the game. I got stuff I got to do. And, you know, I'm really making it a point to get in all this other stuff I need to get in. But also be competent and confident in what I'm saying about a game And just knowing the fuck I'm talking about, because I'm actually playing that bitch. You know, I don't do all the, when it comes to entertainment, I'm on the game. You know, some people will scroll fucking TikTok for 2 hours. Could have been game. Some people scrolling YouTube 3 hours. Could have been game. You know what I mean? When you do sit down for that entertainment, and we'll talk about this a lot. This is what he do. He ain't watching no shows. He ain't watching no movies. He ain't going out. He on the game. And so that's how I still get my gaming time in. Because I'm not doing all this other stuff. And I'm not interested in doing it, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to go out. Man, bro. I'm married 2 kids. I don't go to the bar for. I go to the movies if the wife want to go to the movies. I go out to eat if the wife want to go out to eat. Me personally, I don't give a fuck about going out to eat. I'll eat fucking ground beef and kidney beans every fucking day. Straight up. Dice up some fucking onions. Jalapenos. Scramble that ground beef. Drain that fat. Throw them vegetables off in that bitch. Season that bitch. Little garlic pepper. Garlic pepper. I know y'all know with the garlic salt. Y'all for garlic pepper. Throw that in there. You know what I'm saying? Gotta watch. I can't do a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? Gotta watch the sodium and whatnot. Gotta watch that. We up there in 8 now. Hit that up. Maybe have a little coleslaw mix. For a little crunch, little variety, little vegetable. You know what I'm saying? Throw that in the bottom of the bowl. Throw the ground beef mixture on top of that with the beans and shit. Some corn too if you feel like it. Keep that thing interesting. And that's what I will bust down day to day, every day. Man, we eating all this extra Hello Fresh and all this other shit because the wife be wanting extra. She don't want to eat the same. So shit, I do it. But shit, as far as what I would do for me, shit. I'm a simple guy. I'm a simple man. I like simple things. You know. Drink a little chicken broth, drink a little bone broth. And I'm not bullshitting like this. I would like, bro, when the wife and my daughter take off, they go hang out at her sister's house. Let them fuck around, spend the night over there. You already know how I'm hitting Ingles. You mean getting a low sodium can of chicken broth. Get the fucking lean ground beef or ground turkey. I've been fucking ground turkey a lot heavy. A lot lately too. Bro, I get that shit, bro. Scramble that shit up. Might even if I want to keep that thing interesting, get a jar of salsa. Dump that shit in there and cook that shit down, all that shit down there together. Cook that shit up. 5 minutes. Dump that bitch in a bowl. Come on with it, bro. Come on with it. All your macronutrients in there. Fuck it. Fuck the bullshit. Little coconut. Man, shit. Man, I'm all off topic. But shout out to Division Resurgence. I'm looking forward to that. I think that shit is going to be heat. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. Especially the lore piece, how they expand on the story. And we get to actually play through some of that being the first wave. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be the coolest part. And I think that's going to be, even though it's Division, that's going to be what separates it from Division 2. Because, like, Division 1 was just a different location. Division 2, Washington. This, first wave, tip of the spear. I love it when they expand on these franchises. I really do, especially in these ways like this. Would it be cool if it were on console? Sure, but I'm not mad that it ain't. I'm not hurt that it ain't, because I still can play it. I still can goddamn play it. And will it be graphically fidelity lead as good? Nah, it's a phone game. Some people gonna go through that Google Play situation and play it on their PC. Have at it, bro. Have at it. You know what I'm saying? Play it on the bigger screen. It's not gonna look. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna look too much better. But shout out to them brothers who do that type of shit. I like playing mobile games on mobile. Now, when the Steam machine pop off and I can play them on there, will I? Yes. But am I going to be playing them to the capacity that I play a console game on console? Nah, I'm still going to jump in, do my dailies, do my bounties, you know, whatever new piece of content, hop in and do that. But that's a 10-15 minute process. 10-15 minutes and on to the next. Because again, for me, the convenience of this is that I can get in where I fit in, play it wherever I'm at. I got a free 5 minutes here, I'm playing. I got a free 10 minutes here, I'm playing. I'm down. I ain't gotta bring a lot. I ain't gotta bring nothing extra, to be honest. Sometimes I do hook up a controller. Most times I don't, because I don't want to go get it and then do it and then pair it, and like I just whip that shit up and deal with the touchscreen control. At this point, that's what I'm doing. You know, Rainbow Six Siege, I ain't played it with a controller yet. I've been playing that joint with the touchscreen controls. Is it as good? No, but you know, I ain't gonna lie, I am getting quite good at it though. Well, I ain't gonna say good. I'm getting better. I'm not getting smacked around. I'll just say that I'm not getting smacked around. And I do think, though, to be honest, this is a conversation come up in the subreddits as far as, you know, splitting the player base, as far as, because you got motherfuckers on motherfucking mouse and keyboard, like, nigga. So you got mouse and keyboard, you got touchscreen controls, and you got controller. All these people should be playing together, get together against each other. Like, when it comes to cross-play, like, mobile games should have this. Cross inputs. You want it on or you don't want it on. Because people got all these, oh, well, you're more accurate with touch screens, but the movement just, I don't give a fuck. If I want to play with other motherfuckers that's on touchscreen, if I'm on, man, and I hook that controller up, recognize that shit, and then put me in there with motherfuckers that's on controller. You know, because you got doing controller play stuff. Well, if you just get good with the claw method, you didn't get good with the claw method. You put the fucking controller on, so you shut up. You shut up. I shouldn't have to get good with the claw method to compete with your input. No, because your average controller player is still gonna be better than your average touchscreen player. It's just crisp. It's just crisp. You'll be able to pick that up and play easier than the individual on some touchscreen. They're gonna naturally be more sluggish, naturally be less snappy. You know what I mean? You got to look to see where your ADS is. You got to look to see where your crouch is. And then, you know, if you're competent enough to remap all that stuff yourself, and you hold, like, bro, come on, you're not finna sit up here and tell me, no, you not finna sit up here and tell me playing a claw method is as comfortable as playing with a controller or mouse and keyboard. If that's what you used to. If you're used to playing with a controller, and we've been playing with controllers for centuries, we gonna always be more comfortable with playing with a controller. And yes, it's my choice to play with touchscreen, but that's what it's a mobile game. What's the input on mobile? Touchscreen. That's what the input is. And I'm not saying ban them. Just you go play with controller people over there. You go play with mouse and keyboard people over there. You go play with touchscreen people over there. Like, divvy that up. Especially in a situation when you got ranked involved. Come on with it, bro. Come on with it. Because people, that's one thing. Shout out to X Defiant. Fire game. But with ranked, they didn't have input-based matchmaking. And you got to have that type of stuff when you got something competitive. You offering a competitive situation. You got to have it. You seen Valorant, boy. Valorant came to console. Ain't no gyro. Why? Xbox didn't have no gyro. Now, they should have had gyro, because Xbox can for sure put gyro in their shit. They just choose not to, for whatever reason. But they wanted it to be competitive, so they said no, because these people can't do it. You see what I'm saying? They made that decision. And I'm not saying they need to make that drastic of a decision, but they need to just divide it. You ain't got to cut it off, just divide it. Hopefully that's coming. Because, you know, if you, one thing that can turn an individual off from some competitive shit is to feel like they've been cheated, to feel like they are at a disadvantage. You know what I mean? Of course, now a lot of people just spam, he's cheating. Sometimes you just get shit on. Sometimes that person is just that much better than you. That does happen. And I do think that happens more often than somebody is cheating. Somebody's aimbotting. But when it comes to just at an input level, you're more likely to get shit on by someone on a controller if you playing touchscreen. And of course, there are some, they'll pull out the names of these unicorns that are just excellent with touchscreen. The cloud method, they're just excellent with it. They just eat, sleep, and breathe that. Because a lot of these people also play these games on these big ass fucking tablets, and they could just spread their hands out across them. And they kind of using it in a keyboard type of way because they're able to fully utilize the screen, and because it's big enough. You know what I'm saying? And that's also an option. You could just play it on fucking gaming tablet, which a lot of people do that. A lot of people. I'm not that invested in mobile gaming to the point to where I would seek out like a piece of hardware just specifically, you know what I'm saying, for the claw method. Because they even have the Android handhelds that you can play. The performance ain't always that great. These tablets do outperform them most of the time. Matter of fact, most of the time. But yeah, that's all I got for you as far as that. You get me? Shout out to the Resurgence, finally here, finally among the boys. And I actually think this is gonna be it for the episode, man. I went off on a few tangents, but I guess I had some shit I needed to get off. You feel what I'm saying? And it was dope. Like I said, I'm glad to be back doing this. Got a little vacation next month, so it's gonna be a Saturday next month. I miss also. Well, no. I will not miss that one. I'ma just record that one like hella early in the week, so some of the topics are going will just be off or old, quote unquote old. But you ain't heard my opinion on it, so my opinion won't be old. You feel me? But that aside, I appreciate you coming through. Drop that, hit that like. Drop a comment, drop a subscribe. GGR Podcast, episode 7 in the books. Chugging right on along, man. I feel like just yesterday was episode 1. I feel like just yesterday I was putting together some topics and ideas for the first episode. It's crazy how time flies, boys and girls. But that's all I got for you. Catch y'all next Saturday, 11 a.m. That's the time slot, baby. I'm gone.